Underworld Ministry, what's up?
We're back.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk to you guys again.
We are.
So come and hang out with us.
So I know this season's been all about location owners, but some stuff happened. So this week we have some returning guests that you guys might actually know and remember and love very much, because we do.
So this is the second time for one of our guests, and then this is our third time for another guest.
She just can't stay away from us.
She loves us.
We love
you
her.
know.
It's because we have so much to talk about with her. She's also a paranormal investigator.
They're all paranormal investigators.
investigators.
So in the little clip thing that you guys can see, it's called Paranormal Hangout with Underworld Ministry. Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna. It's nothing really to talk about other than sharing some footage and talking about ghosts this week. But we have some good friends that we want to bring on. Who are we bringing on?
We're bringing on first.
Who's the lucky first that's going to get on first?
Well, two.
Who is it?
Ashley and Gretchen from Closer to the Veil.
There you go. What's up, guys?
Wow, those are some pretty nifty shirts you guys got there.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oops.
Yikes.
Sorry.
That was bad.
Hey,
you know
what? We got matching shirts.
We've all got shirts.
I didn't wear mine this time.
And we did laundry today, too.
Oh, mine's folded. I just haven't worn it. I wanted to wear my DOA shirt. Shout out to my boys in DOA.
Oh, there's somebody else who does not have a shirt, and it is our dear friend Alice from Sunset Paranormal.
Yay!
Yay!
What's up?
You're muted.
Hello.
Oh,
I'm about to drop my phone.
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
We're good. It's good to have you guys back.
They said awesome shirts.
Yeah,
so we haven't
awesome
really
shirts.
Promoted these shirts. We got these are
time to do it now.
These are kind of the
Demo
let's
shirts.
print them and see what they look like, and they came out badass. And I have to give a shout out to James Fingerprints. Thank you, dude. I appreciate the shirts. But we are gonna make more shirts. If you guys want some, message me on Underworld or on my personal page, Christopher Cherry, and we'll make sure that we get shirts.
My mom got her shirt and she says it's nice.
Yeah.
My uncle got a shirt. My cousin's buying a shirt because she lives local.
Yeah, the first round was kind of just for like friends and family. Mm-hmm. Type thing,
like people we're in contact with a lot.
So, Alice, do you want to explain who you are and what you do and who you're with?
Yeah. So I am Sunset Paranormal, and I'm pushing my toddler out the door at the moment. Out. Get out. Sorry.
It's okay.
Wrong time.
So right now, so I have been working on classes, and we're going to be teaching classes here soon. We do investigations. We do it with a scientific method. So we don't really we don't do too many paid places unless it's just something to do for fun. But we do a lot of like home investigations, things like that.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
We're about to start.
They Ashley, Gretchen, do you want to explain what Close to the Veil is? Oh, your mic died again.
Oh.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Those damn mics, I'm telling you.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we can barely hear.
Sorry.
No!
You said you could barely hear us?
We can barely hear you guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Let me see.
I think it's on. No, I don't want to anymore.
Can you hear us now?
Barely.
I think it's us.
I can hear you guys. I don't know.
Yeah, we can hear you. If
Does this one work?
This always seems to happen with paranormal investigators. One thing goes wrong.
Does it need to be paired?
It's because of the
No.
damn ghosts in the house. I'm telling y'all.
oh, I
And then you
mean,
guys sound like super muffled.
It comes with the territory.
Yep.
Connect to external mic. I don't want to.
yeah, I tried to edit. It's weird. Can you hear us fine, Alice?
I can hear you guys fine.
Is it turned up all the way?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you guys have it sitting on something?
Should we get out and come back in?
That is so weird. Was it this, that?
Sorry, guys. We're having minor difficulties.
Yes, we're sorry, you guys.
I know you're fine. You're fine.
They're having tech problems, and I have a little bit of toddler problems. So
Yeah,
It's all good.
that sounds about right.
We're investigators. We're used to this.
Yay! Okay, we can hear you now.
I fixed it.
You know what? Tech problems come with being paranormal investigator.
It does.
That's true.
Okay.
If there was
So-
never a problem, if there was never problems on an investigation, that'd be the most wonderful thing ever.
I mean, it wouldn't be haunted.
You're right.
It might not be haunted then.
Yeah. So can you hear us better now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, so we are based out of Arizona. We are two paranormal investigators. We like to go into haunted locations and see and kind of study what they have. We also do, well, I've done some house investigations as well. Gretchen has
I've done one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my house.
Yeah.
I've done two.
Yeah. So we have done her house. Her house is very active.
Yeah, I've actually,
Yeah.
I've actually
So-
got. I was told the same thing about your house, Gretchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
By who?
Chloe?
Chloe?
Oh,
You?
maybe. Was it me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I think
Yeah.
so. But
No.
she was just going. She was just saying how haunted your house was over just random chat.
Yep.
So
we should all just pack our bags and go over there and investigate her house.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh yeah. I think everybody experiences the stuff in my house when we get on these things. So.
Yeah, come
yeah,
on.
they so we have last time that we've talked, we're up to what? 9?
What?
We're up to 9 haunted dolls.
Wow.
Box right there.
We have one of my dolls from 1920s has human
1,
hair in the
2,
room.
3, 4, 5.
Our newest doll is he's right
We
there.
have
Hold
at
on.
least 4 in the room right now. within eyesight.
You sound like my house.
This is just in our bedroom.
So this is Charles.
Hi, Charles.
Hi, Charles.
He's cute.
We tried to do a little investigation the other day when we were bored, and he set off a cat ball. That's about it. Can't really say anything about. Other than that, we haven't got really anything from him. But the one that we did get, that's way too far to get. I don't remember the last time we talked if we did the Stringer house before or after we talked. But we have a doll called Elle, and we got it from the May Stringer house, which is the most haunted house in Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
She said that somebody sent her that doll, and it's literally gave her nothing but bad luck the whole time that she's had it.
Oh, wow.
So then we took ownership of it, and it like setting off. You remember back in the 90s, it's like this tall, the little Buzz Lightyear toy.
Yeah.
Like you can hit buttons and it sets off and it talks and
Yeah.
She likes setting off cat balls and she likes setting off that Buzz Lightyear toy.
She likes lights.
Yeah. I remember waking up at like 3:30 in the morning to go to the bathroom and all. It's pitch dark, and all of a sudden I hear the little Buzz Lightyear going, "Buzz Lightyear to the rescue" or something like that. And I was scared. It's like I was just half asleep and not expecting that to go off. And then it sets it off with Sarah when she starts talking to the doll. The Buzz Lightyear starts going off.
Yeah, I asked her if she wanted us to do another interview with her. If so, then she can set it off, and it went off all day.
Wow.
So we were listening to our friend Emma do an interview with the former owner of Elle, and he was talking about how he bought it for his mom or grandma,
His mom had it.
And then it got sent to us because they were giving them bad luck and like stuff was happening to the mom.
Wow.
And soon as he asked where the doll was now, and she was explaining that it was with Underworld Ministry and that we're taking care of the doll. And as soon as they mentioned us about owning the doll, I literally watched the cat ball move and then it went off.
Oh, wow.
People step back, watched it move and go off.
Like
for 2 minutes.
We know. I don't know if you guys use cat balls. I know Alice does. We do.
Yes, we
You
do.
have to touch those to move them. Like there has to be a physical touch. Yeah. And like it literally rolled, and then it went off. I was like, "What? What?"
Like our cats were asleep. Like
yeah,
we even tested it by slamming the door, and it didn't do anything to it. And my door shuts pretty hard.
If you scream, they go off.
Yeah. You say if you scream, they go off?
Yeah.
Now I want to know how you know that.
Well, we were in Acadia, and Ashley and our friend Wendy were in the back room, and the door was closed, and the cat balls were on the table, and I went and scared them, and they screamed, and they went off.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you think they go off by vibration?
And like, if
They do go off by vibration.
Like the sound wave of them screaming could set it off.
Yeah, because it's like a brick, a tiny little brick room that they call the ice box. It was basically like their fridge.
Yeah.
Back in, like the 1800s.
Right.
And so we were sitting in there. Apparently they had a little girl get thrown in there and locked up in there, and she just died. And so, like, it's a pretty active spot in that room. And so that's where we were at, and we had the door closed, and Gretchen came up and like
I scared him real good. It was funny.
I usually don't scream, and so I thought it was really funny, and we got it on video, and I was like, this is great. This is great. You see me, I'm like holding on to my crutch, and I'm all, ah!
Oh, how is your foot, by the way?
I'm still in a boot. My foot keeps on swelling, and so he's like, I want you to stay in the boot a little bit longer. I'm gonna go out and get a brace, so to see if I can wear it in my shoe, to see if that will help any. If not, then I have to be in the boot a little bit longer. But I mean, I'm walking. It just swells and hurts by the end of the night. But that's where we're at. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Did you break something, or did you have surgery, or?
It was a ruptured Achilles.
Ugh.
So they told me back in November, the doctors told me that it would get better on its own, and come January, they were like, okay, you can get rid of the boot, and I took the boot off, and I went to take a step, and I completely collapsed. So then I went back to the doctor and let them know, and he's like, you need to get a second opinion, and I went to that second opinion, and he turned the MRI on, and he was like, you needed surgery yesterday.
Wow.
So I had to go through surgery, and so now I'm recovering from surgery, and that was back in March.
Wow.
Damn.
I think I remember that. Didn't you like trip on something?
No, like I was just at work, and I was cleaning up from doing a haircut, and I was like, well, my implements were cleaning up or like getting sanitized. I decided I was going to go to the bathroom, and I took 2 steps to the back, and it felt like somebody came up behind me and kicked me as hard as they possibly could.
And then she
You what?
and then she
Yeah, I never tore. Well, I don't know. I think I've tore. So I was a sponsored skimboarder and broke my ankle in 6 places and never really went to the hospital for it. I kind of just put it myself in an ace bandage and had handcuffs. Had crutches already. Yeah.
I mean, that
I already had
tried
crutches. But I sprained my ankle when I lived in Pennsylvania. I slipped on some ice and had to go to the hospital, and they took an x-ray of it. They're like, do you know you broke your place? You have like 6 different bones in your ankle. I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably
that's probably why
that's probably why that hurts. But
Do you have arthritis in it now?
oh, absolutely.
I like, my feet were like, I had severe club feet when I was born. And I have like, I mean, it depends on what time of the year, but I'll get out of bed and I'll be like sliding on the floor, and I'll have to like stand there for a second so that my feet can like actually get used to me standing.
Yeah.
The arthritis is like out of control on my feet. And I wonder if that's why, part of the reason why my Achilles ruptured is because I was on my feet all day.
I think I just have poor circulation in my sleep because I curl up, and then it hurts to walk in the morning for a couple minutes.
But actually, I do have a picture. This is a picture of Elle. So this is the doll that we got from the Stringer house. Every time that we've put a millimeter next to her, a K2, anything, it always goes to 8 first. It always jumps up to a 0.8, and then it goes back down. And like, we'll talk about it, but it always starts at a 0.8. No matter, like, bro, this doll the whole time that we had the millimeter on him, it was like what? Like
0.2?
Boy,
No, like 0.9.
Wow.
Yeah, it jumped up. Like, as soon as I turn the millimeter on, like, it takes a second for it to like calibrate. and then it jumped up to 0.8, and then literally asking if it can go up, and it jumped to a 1.5 back down to a 0.8 and just stayed at a 0.8. Like we turned off all the power in the room. I turned off the TV. I turned off everything, and it was still reading a 0.8 next to this doll.
Wow.
So we love our haunted dolls. This one got mailed to us from Ohio.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
She sent it wrapped like a body.
Oh, we sent you those pictures, I think.
Yeah, that was the one that was wrapped. That one was
Yeah.
She wrapped it.
It literally looked like
in
like
plastic
every
bag and duct tape.
it literally looked like a mob hit.
And what made it worse was the box that it was sent in, because the postal service here sucks, and it got rained on and then smashed, and they put it in a plastic bag and said, "We're sorry."
Oh my gosh.
And we opened it and it smelled so bad, like mold. I'm like, ain't that just a great omen for this haunted doll?
It was I'm kind of glad that she wrapped it the way she did.
Yeah.
But I think one of the subjects I know Alice wanted to talk about kind of was remote viewing. I know that we use Alice in a couple investigations we've had so far. And she's pretty spot on the whole time that she's doing it. I don't know if Ashley or Gretchen, have you used Alice as remote viewing yet, or
we have. She did like a little like class when we were in Bisbee, but I was up in the top room as she was down. We had a couple of things going on that night, so we had her remote viewing, and then we had
don't look at me. I wasn't.
Past life regression.
Yeah.
With Colleen.
Yeah, past life regression. There was tarot cards, and Jeff and Pam's. They did the seance in like the kitchen area, so there was like several things going on that night.
I want to do a seance so bad.
I ended up in for an extra long tarot card reading.
Yeah, I want to be part of a seance so bad.
It wasn't like a seance what you think it's a seance, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I want to be like legit do a seance. I don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Patty Negris.
Just as being an investigator, just see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't.
You should get one of those tipping table things, and then just scare the crap out of them.
Little switches on the bottom.
Yeah. I'll start knocking on the wall.
Yeah. What's that movie? Ouija.
Yes.
Oh, that movie was nuts.
Yeah, when she was trying to scam people of reading
Yes.
Ouija boards and everything, right? Yeah, she had switches and her little daughter in the bottom of the table. I'm like, man, I just wanted that to be real. Like, that's kind of. But
that movie was creepy.
Do you want to explain a little bit about remote viewing, Alice, that people don't know what it is?
Yeah, so remote viewing is actually another term for clairvoyance. But basically how it works with quantum entanglement. And if you guys don't really know what that is, sorry, my kid's out the side of the door. Of course, when I go to talk. Anyway, so it works by quantum entanglement. So basically, it is. She's yelling. Hang on one second. Let me go.
Mom, like.
I'm going in the other room. Anyway, so it works by quantum entanglement. So basically, quantum entanglement, the best way I can explain it is you basically have an atom and it's spinning one way, and then the entangled particle that is entangled with it will spin the opposite direction. So it's kind of like faster than light kind of type thing. So, you'll be able to see things at a distance. The kind of the way I can really explain it is like whenever you kind of you get yourself into a meditative state and you relax a little bit, and then you want to try to focus on that object that you're trying to remote view, trying to see. And then what you will do is that you'll just relax and kind of let the picture kind of just come to you. Because if you force it or you try to start thinking like, hey, this could be this, then it's not going to work. So you'll have to you'll have to just kind of allow the pictures to form in your mind so you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we've done a couple exercises where I've sent you certain pictures of locations and kind of overloaded yourself.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But no, we've done remote viewing. This last time was at the barber shop.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that was a good one.
And then we've done the remote viewing with you when we were at the Gilchrist jail.
Yeah.
Which
and soon. I'm not saying more than that, but we'll see you again soon, Alan.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I mean, we see Alice every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
so,
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about it.
Have you guys? We'll go into a different picture. Do you guys use in investigations, or have you used the Ouija board during investigations, or do you like using Ouija boards? Or
we're not opposed to it.
I think we were before, but then we met someone who does it.
Karen Dolman. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, and she explained it really well to her. I'm not scared of it anymore.
I had some really bad experiences as a kid with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the difference between being, that age and being older now is what you have in store for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you're older,
Right.
when you're a kid, it's more like you buy this board at Target or Walmart and you're thinking that it's just some game and something really happens. And then all of a sudden you have something that's coming home with you or, is in your house singing behind your bedroom door. That was the stuff that happened to me.
Yeah.
But as I was older, I kind of knew, my roommate wanted to do it and I was like, okay, well, you need to know what you're in for because if you don't know what you're doing, things can go very wrong. And the one she got asked for a prayer beforehand and to close it out to pray. And we did not close it out with a prayer. And we had some pretty crazy stuff happen to us when we did it. So, but I just think if you know what you're doing with it, just kind of like everything else that we do, read up on it and study it and use it with caution.
See, I grew up with family members who were into the paranormal. So my mom and her sister and other females in the family played with it. So I kind of knew the rules. And some bad stuff happened. So I don't play with it, but it can stay in the box.
Yeah. I don't really mess with them either. That's not my. I don't mess with that. I don't do tarot.
My thing is, what's going to come through.
You know what got my attention for the Ouija board? Reagan from The Exorcist. I wanted to see Uncle Howdy too. But that was my first introduction to the Ouija board. She's like, oh yeah, I talked to Miss Uncle Howdy and everything. Or what was it? Was it Uncle Howdy? I don't know I don't remember what spirit was talking to her through the board. But I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I kind of want to use that. And now I own 2 from 1970s. So
wow, that's cool.
I don't.
This one we got. This board's from the 1972 that we got from an old antique store.
Is that ours?
That's the one that's in storage.
Oh.
That's
This-
a really cool.
Yeah, they I actually know that one's been used in a couple of seance. I had a whole paper from like the owners of like all the times that he's used the board and what happened to the board, and I lost that paper that came with it.
Oh, that sucks.
So, but that board was used a lot. We have another board that we got from like a thrift store just because I think they're cool.
Yeah.
I don't
They are.
really.
I have a friend that Kelly and Erica.
Oh yeah.
They actually had, I guess her sister-in-law had this Ouija board made for her, or she made it or something. She cut herself making it, and in the process of it being made, like her blood is actually in the Ouija board.
Oh man.
And so I was,
Great.
yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that one's nuts.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we investigated their house. Yeah.
I don't.
They like to buy stuff and themselves.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the last time when we talked to Close to the Veil. I'm trying to remember what time frame that was,
It's February.
but it was a while ago.
Dear,
I don't remember if was it. I don't remember if it was the last time that we went to the Gilcrest. I think we were going to the convention when we were talking to you. But we did a convention and we had our friend Ryan filming my friend Ryan with OOP. It's another team here in Florida. He has like a full spectrum camera that he got from Ghost Gear. I think it's Ghost Gear. Shout out to Ghost Gear. Not affiliated anywhere, but I want some of your stuff.
I'm pretty sure if I got on there, I probably.
Yeah. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about orbs? You guys believe in orbs or?
So we had done an investigation with a group out here, and they had all the cameras set up, and the mom of the group was actually like, okay, this is what a real orb looks like compared to like a dust particle. And so she like gave us like a little bit of a rundown on an orb. I'm not an expert on it, but like I can definitely like sit there and be like, that is definitely an orb. That is definitely not a dust particle. Especially when it's just like chills.
Orbs all over my house.
Yeah, she's got orbs all over her house. Like it's, and I mean the cameras will map it out as somebody moving around in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
Well, how do you feel about that?
You what?
I was going to ask Alice how she felt about orbs.
So, personally, this is how I would say about orbs. I don't really believe in orbs unless you can kind of see them, like with your own two eyes, kind of thing. And I'll tell you why, because a lot of it can be light reflection, things like that can come over top of the film and stuff. But whenever you have an orb, you have to take into consideration: is it in a known haunted location? Are several people saying the same type of thing? Is it known to pop up on, cameras? Move if you're asking it to move. Is it moving in a direction that it's not supposed to be moving in? Not just like dust. How dust just kind of floats.
Right.
Things like that. If it's like, is it staying in one spot? Is it moving in a weird direction? Is there, multiple things happening at one time? Like other things that are paranormal, not just that happening. Like you're hearing voices, the lights are flickering, there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. You know what I mean? Footsteps, stuff like that. You have to truly convince me an orb. Like you have to. I'm very skeptical. The same thing with like Ouija boards, pendulums, and stuff. I'm very, very skeptical because they're the ideomotor effect. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's basically muscle memory. And what that does is that if you're basically subconsciously thinking, say you want to use your pendulum or something, and you're subconsciously thinking like, oh, I'm going to hold this and it's going to start moving. Well, it's going to consciously move in the direction you're subconsciously wanting it to move in.
Right.
Because of the ideomotor effect. Now, if you're hanging it from like a hanger and it's doing it by itself, then you could say it's spirit activity. Or the planchette moving by itself, then you could say it's spirit activity. I guess I just get I'm really skeptical about stuff. Like, I have to see proof before I would say that it's something paranormal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I think that's also part of like being a paranormal investigator too. You just can't run to it being like flat out, oh, this is what this is. Yeah, this is a spirit. Like you actually have to figure it out. Like
Debunk stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
So the pictures that I'm about to share, this is at Gilchrist County Jail here in Trenton. Alice has seen this place. We video chatted with her and walked around. But this is the Gilchrist jail. So there's 8 jails. It's from 1926, I think it is. If not, sorry, Henry. I love you.
I'm sure he'll correct it. I love Henry. He is so loud.
He has a very distinct voice. He's very loud. So like the whole jail echoes. Like no matter where he is in the jail, upstairs, downstairs, you're gonna hear him.
Don't make that man laugh.
So I wanted to get your guys' take. So he was filming me, and I was doing the SS method in the jail. And he was asking questions and everything, and he sent me these photos. So this is supposed to be.
Doing it again. Sorry.
Yeah, gonna get a close up of Alice. So this orb, the jail is really dirty. It's really dusty. We weren't moving around a lot, but I know in their CCTV, like their surveillance, they get orbs all the time. Like you can just sit there and look at the screen and you'll just see random stuff moving. The jail cells move. You hear talking all the time. I know when we did an interview with them, I think the first time that we did an interview with Henry, my computer just died while we were doing the interview, and he was still live on just like we are. And the whole time that we were gone, trying to get my computer back on and trying to get back on StreamYard, the doors were slamming, the K2 was going off, his REM pod was going off, the millimeter was going crazy. And then as soon as we got back on live and started talking to him, everything stopped.
Yeah, that happens.
So was this the same night that I was online with you guys, or
no, this is when we first met Henry. Like this is when we first started doing the show.
Oh, okay.
We were still in my grandma's.
Yeah, and then we've been there 3 times since, and we're going back soon. I'm not telling you guys a date yet. You guys have to watch and pay attention, but it's coming soon.
We'll probably tell you.
Or I might just tell you at the end. You have to watch.
I like that even better.
Yeah.
We just have no patience for it.
No, I wanted to tell you guys last week, but she wouldn't let me spoil the surprise. I want to tell you guys so bad. We have so much coming. But the shirts were last week, so I can put another surprise out this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't. Were you able to see those pictures?
You're talking to
we
me?
saw.
Or-
I don't. We have a video of it too. So the orb was like from his camera view, and like he saw it with his own eye and everything. So I was doing the Estes method, and this orb went up my leg, up my chest, around my head, and then just flew away. So that's why I was trying to, like, I was trying to take stills of it. This is what Ryan sent me. But you can literally see the ball of energy. That's what I like calling orbs. I don't know what they are. But like I obviously didn't see it, but he sent I couldn't find that video. We just did an investigation at the Arcadia Opera House, and my other laptop that had a lot of my footage on it crashed. So I don't have a lot of stuff that I had before. So
Start over.
yeah, it kind of, I have what I have on my hard drive, but that's not a lot.
Yeah.
That's awful.
But we will be going back to the jail on August 13th. And
So much for waiting.
it will, I couldn't wait anymore. There's no surprises. But I want to go over this because I have a video where it's right here. So the last time that me and Sarah were in the jail together, we were doing that Estes method, and I had the orb come up and fly around me and fly around my head. And like I was in mid Estes, and like something in my instinct was like, make sure Sarah's okay. Like something's happening to Sarah. And like I took the headphones off and I looked at Ryan that was asking questions and everything. It was right next to me. I was like, where is Sarah? And Sarah comes, actually I'll let her explain it.
Oh my god. No, I'm too tired for this. It's all the time.
All right. So well, you experienced it. I did it. I know what happened when you first came to me. But supposedly she was upstairs where the men were, where like the most activity happens in this jail. Alice can tell you she felt it. But there's multiple people up there that don't like me. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm another big guy in the jail and they just don't like me. Alice told me the same thing. That's literally, as soon as we got on video with Alice, she was watching. She's like, there's somebody standing right next to you and they do not like you.
It was an intense feeling for sure.
Yeah.
So I was more worried about Sarah though. There was because I kept having chest pain that entire time that I was on the. Every time she was there, like I would start getting chest pain.
Yeah. And then she comes, like, so I take the headphones off and the blindfold. I was like, where is Sarah? Like, is Sarah okay? And she comes running up to the cell where we are. She's like, I just got rushed by something. And then she like freaks out a little bit and something grabbed her by the throat.
Yeah, I felt like someone was.
And she went running out, and Ryan trying to kind of turns towards her and puts the camera on her. And while she's explaining it, the spirit that was affecting Sarah said, I did. Here, listen to this. Wrong one. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's this one. Okay.
Here's after she came back and was explaining that she felt like something's grabbing her neck.
I feel like someone's grabbing my neck right now. I need to get out.
Get up.
I feel like someone's grabbing my neck right now. I need to get out.
Sounds like a female.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can.
Sarah was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can think of we did a viral investigation on that jail. Henry was at the jail. We were here, and we did it on live. And so there's 4 cells on the bottom that were female cells, and then 5 cells up top that were the men's cells. They were in cell 3, I think it was, and I promised one of the female spirits that when I came up to the jail next, that I would go in there and speak with her and I'd dance with her, because they were playing music and the K2 was going off. And then I completely forgot that I said that, and I went straight upstairs to talk to the guys. The only thing I can think of is that something was pissed off that I didn't come and talk to them, and Sarah was with me, so they attacked Sarah to get my attention.
Oh,
Or they got jealous.
Yeah.
That's what I was. That's exactly how I felt the entire time. I was like, I think that she was jealous of Sarah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, remember that one girl,
Yeah.
your friend, who I kept like flirting with him and was like putting her head and her hands in his lap.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Wasn't that Ryan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I kept seeing. So when we did the remote viewing session, I had saw your friend was sitting on the bench, and there was a girl sitting next to him, and she kept trying to like put her hands and her head in his lap.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's Ryan from OOP.
Yeah.
Every time he goes in there, he gets an experience
He's
by
a
the
ladies'
same
man in
ghost.
there.
So the same spirit
They
comes
got
after
groped.
him every time. And yeah, he's been groped by her a couple times. Like, he's been touched by her.
That's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's her man.
I completely forgot about that till you said that.
Cool.
But the last time we were in the jail, do you guys, I think close to the veil is frozen. Do we still have you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
Your video's frozen.
No, your video's frozen.
Cute.
It's Ashley's fault.
And actually, I did see.
No, this happens every time we talk about Henry and his jail.
Every time we talk about
Every
Gilchrist,
time
something
we talk
happens.
Every time.
No matter where we are, something happens after we've talked about Gilchrist.
They know.
But do you guys know what the Delco glasses are?
No.
So
Did that help?
yes. Yeah, we got you guys.
And you're hello.
There we go. So the Delco glasses, I'm gonna murder this. I get it wrong every time. The Ganzid experience?
The Gansfeld effect.
Yes. So the Delco, I think his name is Mike Delcrino or something like that.
Mike Delco.
Sorry if I got your name wrong. My bad. But he created these glasses. They're goggles, and they have lights in them, like inside the goggle, and it flashes the red, kind of like the ping pong. Like you tape the ping pongs to your eyes.
Yeah.
It's kind of just goggles, and it goes along with the pulse of the light, and you put you do the S's method with it. So you're literally taking all of your senses away, your sight, hearing, everything. But we have a little clip of that.
That's right, yeah. That's tomorrow, yeah. No one's really getting this moment. Last time was vibration. No one's really.
Henry, please identify yourself, or you're not going to get any smoke break tonight.
Sorry, Sarah had to go to the bathroom. Oh, we lost everybody.
I'm here. I'm just, hang on one second.
Yeah, I think it worked.
Okay.
Where'd you get those
So-
glasses?
So that's Henry owns those. He bought them from. What's up, Paranormal 54? How you doing, man? I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name. I know it's Mike. I can't pronounce his last name, but he's an investigator here in Florida that makes equipment. As Alice mentioned what the name of it. I have a speech impediment, so I can't really say what it is.
The Gansfeld effect.
Gansfield effect. So that's
Remember that.
so the Gansfield. I don't know if anybody that doesn't know what it is. You set up a red strobe light, and you cut a ping pong ball in half, and you put them over your lights with tape, and you're supposed to be able to see things like through the ping pong balls, or like see shadow figures, or it basically takes all your senses away, like your psychic ability.
It induces psychic ability, basically.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Persinger's helmet. Does the kind of same kind of type thing.
Yeah, that's his name. Thank you. He's in War Party Paranormal. He's there's another team. Oh, I'm sorry. But Mike created these goggles. It's pretty much the same thing without the ping pong balls and without the strobe light. He created the goggles that they're like not see-through, and they have the red light inside the goggles so that you don't have to have a strobe light. And it has the same effect. And then you do the Estes method with it. From what Henry told me, you're supposed to set the Delco glasses with the SB7 or whatever you're doing the Estes method on. But you want to put the Estes method and the goggles to the same frequency. So it runs off of the headphones and it runs off the goggle. You're supposed to see shadow figures or whatever, and you can hear them at the same time. So you're taking all of your senses away. And I did this. Where's the video? Oh, I thought I had the video. 1 second. There it is. Oh yeah, it wouldn't let me play. I'm gonna play it this way. So this is me doing the Delco Estes method effect.
Who is the inmate that has alcohol on their breath? I can smell it right now. You were put in here because you had a disorderly, I guess, conduct or under the influence?
I've been warm and it's like really cold right here. Like it's like noticeably cold on my shirt right now.
I'll agree with that.
Is that Sarah? Are you on his lap?
Yeah. Ooh. That's 3 times.
Did the REM pod just go off?
Yeah, 3 times.
Okay, I thought that was in my headphones.
No, that's the REM pod. It keeps going off.
So like the whole time that I was doing that, it literally felt like somebody was standing right in front of me and like putting their hand on my stomach. Like it was just ice cold the whole time, but I couldn't see anything. Nobody was really talking on the on the SB11. Like no voices were coming through, but while I was you go up the stairs in the jail and you go around and there's a long hallway, and that's supposed to be the most haunted part of the jail. And I was standing. I had my chair right at the beginning of the hallway, so I had the whole hallway behind me with all the cells open and everything. So if anything wanted to go through or past us, we would see anything passing behind me. We set up a REM pod, but it wasn't answering any of the questions and wasn't coming through with like the S's. But it liked that REM pod. That REM pod went off like 12 times while we tried this. So it's a very stupid haunted jail. I want to get a pair of those goggles and do that experiment here. So this is called the May Stringer House. It's that's from what we've been told, it's the most haunted house in Florida. Wow. I can't tell you the date. I can't remember, and I'm not gonna disrespect the house that way. So we're gonna leave it. It's very old. Let's just say that.
Very pretty.
That's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
May Stringer, booyah! We love the Stringer house. We actually have a video. It's in our intro. Oh, Sarah's back. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. My back kind of hurts, so.
Welcome back, Sarah.
Welcome back.
Thank you. That's just from sitting for too long.
We gotta get Sarah a pillow. There we go. So
It feels weird.
she was doing the Estes method at the house.
So I'm actually part of the tour at the house now.
Yeah. Let's play this and we'll explain what it is. My audio was not working that night too.
So y'all see how I have 2 earrings in that clip? 2. I have evidence going in there with 2. I did not walk out with 2.
So we did that Estes method, and you want to explain this one? You know this one better than I do.
What, for the Estes method?
Yeah, what happened?
I in that clip I got touched on the shoulder, like somebody, like a little tiny hand just came up and went like that. And that's what you guys see me doing, is tapping Emma on the shoulder to let her know what happened.
So are you guys familiar with the Estes method? Do you guys do the Estes method?
Yes, that's one of our favorite techniques we like to use is the
Got you.
method.
Alice, do you use Estes method?
I use all kinds of different stuff.
I mean,
But
you're
yeah.
like a walking Estes method. But we were upstairs and
Jessie May.
oh yeah, Jessie May is her name. She died very young, and she has a couple dolls up there that are her babies, and they're haunted. But if you move anything in her room, she gets mad, and she is very known that she is there and that she's mad until you bring back whatever and put it back in her room. They've taken her baby doll out. They've taken a couple things out, and the house is just mayhem until they put it back.
I have a brick from that house, and I wonder if that's when my earring went missing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Have a great night. But she was doing the Estes method and it felt like she said something like just touched her in the shoulder, and like she flipped around. And I don't know if when she flipped around she lost her earring, but we've searched that whole house for like top to bottom with flashlights. We turned all the lights on. It just disappeared. And it's a little earring of a ghost in a jar.
Which I find risky. Like, the ghost in a jar.
You know what? The majority of my ghost earrings I have lost. Like, I've lost one pair of like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think there's been like several places. The Queen Mary, it happened, and the Superior High School here in Superior. The Superior High School was the first time. Yeah.
Wow. I don't lose any
It was
of
like
mine.
somebody
Mine
was like
are,
coming up and whacking them out.
It's in the ocean.
yeah. I haven't lost them in any haunted houses, but I've lost a lot of plugs in the ocean. I forget to take them out. I forget to take them out while I'm like snorkeling or anything at the beach, and I show back up with one earring, and I'm like, oh, it did it again. Dang it.
Oh, I say, because you got one rounded one, and then the other one's all floppy. I'm just like,
I like my floppy earring. But we have a video that Ashley sent us. Do you want me to go to the first one and the second one first, or?
It doesn't matter, whichever one.
We'll go to this one first and then explain, and we'll go to the other one.
Okay, so that is the after picture of that.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the first one that I took. There is a cabin up in Newdale, Idaho that I went and investigated about 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks? Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we were getting a tour of the house or of the cabin, and I always take 3 pictures, as I'm going through, at least 3 pictures. Right. And so this is the first picture that I had. And then the next, and like if you look at the recliner is like fuzzy. It's almost like somebody is sitting in the recliner.
Yeah, definitely.
And I take, like, you look at the next picture and everything is clear. Even the recliner is clear.
Wow.
So it doesn't look like there's like anything there, and it's the exact same spot. Yeah, so we did get a lot of activity. Yeah, that house actually has like a little, they call it a hobbit house, but when I went out there I was like, I'm pretty sure which lived here. In fact, when we walked in the door, there's like a cabinet off to the side, and there was like little like cloth sacks that had stuff inside it. Yeah. And I was just like, this is, there's been rituals in this house, and that is the reason for it. And I guess my cousin, there was a reunion that had taken place for my family, and my cousin had gone into that little hobbit/witch house and started emptying it all out and leaving a little doll in there. And when he got done, he went back to the cabin, and my whole family was saying that, I mean, every single one of them has a story of what happened in that place. And they think he had brought something back from that little hobbit house. Right. So, I mean, doors were opening. You could hear footsteps. It felt like people's faces were getting touched while they were sleeping. Lights were turning off and on by themselves. Like, just so much activity. So I went in there and looked at it. So, but what we got was a whole lot different than my mom, because my mom thought it was a little girl that was in there. But the second I got out, I was like, I feel like there's a man here. I don't feel a little girl presence. I feel like it's a man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's kind of like
Really
the house
quick.
that I was at in Pennsylvania. I had the same thing. We moved into one house when we first moved up there. Oh, I just kicked the camera. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the
Yeah.
motion sickness. But the first house was like crazy haunted. You hear walking up and down the stairs. You hear stuff moving around in the basement, like full on stuff moving, and like you go down there and nothing's moved.
Yeah.
And then I moved to a second house in Pennsylvania that was like the old caretaker's house. And there was, from what I was told, that like a little girl died there. Another gentleman died there. But stuff would be thrown there. We would hear the door jingle, like the door handle move. You would hear giggling in the closet. You would hear, like, you would literally see just shadows walking past your doorway, and like you kind of just look and nobody's even there. I had a candle fly from one room to one side of the room to the other. I saw a little girl threw her on the top of my stairs into the bathroom and literally watched her walk away. Like, it looked like in the movies. Like, it literally looked like a little girl just walking away. And, like, you would hear her giggling in the closet. I don't know if it's the spirit of the little girl or it's something else playing as a girl. But that was a very crazy house. And I do believe that whatever was in that house followed me everywhere I went. What's that?
I think a lot of places in Pennsylvania are haunted out there.
Oh,
I lived in both of the places that I lived in Pennsylvania. One was a house, and everybody heard their name being called. They had like a cellar, and everybody. I mean, mine was called like several different times, and we'd run up the stairs, run up the other set of stairs, and we'd be like, "What? Who called us?" And everybody'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then we lived in a old nursing home. They had turned them into an apartment. And I mean, there was some crazy stuff. My door opened. And like, the thing is in Pennsylvania, like, I know in the area that I lived in, every single time they got a new tenant in, they would rip the carpets out and they would lay new carpets down. And, so, I mean, it was fluffy carpet. And I was the only one there for like 2 weeks when I first got there. And I could hear what sounded like somebody like kind of sliding their feet, as if like somebody was using a walker.
Yeah.
In the hall. And I was just like, am I really hearing this right now? And then all of a sudden my door, which was hard to open because of the carpet, because it was so fluffy.
Right.
It started pushing itself open. And I was like, that is nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one here, sleeping here. But it was pretty intense. That's, I think, the first time my husband was like, this is the first place that I had a lot of activity and know that it is activity. He said one time he had gotten up in the middle of the night to eat a bowl of cereal, and he thought I came walking up behind him because he felt and heard somebody come up behind him, and he thought it was me. So he took the bowl of cereal and turned like this to give me a bite, and he goes, and nobody was there. He goes, I put the bowl in the sink and ran back to bed.
When we first moved up there, my buddy Pete was upstairs putting his clothes away, unpacking, and I was outside with the girls while they were playing out back. And he comes running out of the house, pale white. He's like, I swear to God, you were just upstairs. You were not upstairs? And then I was like, no, dude, I've been sitting here the whole time watching the girls play. And he's like, I swear to God, you walked in the room, you said, yo, dude, what's up? Which I would say. And it was like exactly my voice. And he turned around and there was nobody there at all. And I literally heard him little feet tapping down the stairs, running out of the house. But I remember taking this photo as saying like stuff can follow you or attach to you when the property that you live in. I just got my hair cut and I took a little selfie and I sent it to a friend. And soon as I sent it to her, she's like, "Who is that behind you?" And I turned around and there's absolutely nobody behind me at all. But if you look at the picture, look to my right down the alleyway.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, right there.
I wish I could zoom in for you.
Here, let's see. We're gonna see if we can.
So this the white area behind him, it's a giant wall. And there's a giant wall and there's like a food grain area. And there's just, Pennsylvania, these little towns, there's just one road. There's houses right on top of each other.
Yep.
Like there's just no way to get, there was nowhere to go if it was somebody. Bright daylight.
That
It's all
is
black.
crazy.
And like I took the picture, I sent it to her, and she sent it right back. She's like, "Who's that behind you?" And I looked back. I went down that alleyway. There wasn't even enough room for me to go behind the house from the wall. There was no doors, there was no windows, no nothing. So if there was somebody down there, they'd still be there while I was going down that way. But yeah, that's my shadow figure. I think he still follows me. Speaking of attachments and everything, I don't think we have any right now.
I do.
You do?
My grandfather.
Well, yeah, other than relatives, I think my grandparents are with me. But from a location or anything, or something attaching to you while you're in an investigation and coming home with you. Have you ever had any experiences like that?
Yes, I have. In fact, that was when we decided that we were going to sage, and we didn't sage the last time. And as I was talking to you on the phone, and we were talking about Zach's attachment, something fell in my seat.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was scared. I literally thought somebody was sitting in my back seat. And this was just last Sunday? Yeah, Sunday morning. So,
we never got to finish that conversation.
Yeah. So, we had, we left. I felt like I was being tampered with the whole entire time we were in Acadia just this last weekend. But I did, I was like, you can't stay here, you have to leave.
I knew that. I totally forgot.
After hearing that, we were talking on the phone, on the way back so that I wouldn't fall asleep. And all of a sudden, we were talking about, one of the people that was going to be on our team. He wanted to be the camera guy. He went with us to one. He went with us to one cemetery, and he got scratched really bad.
Really bad.
And he never came back. And I had ordered him shirts and everything ready for him to start with us, and he never did it again.
He didn't even talk to us, honestly.
Well, he just moved back to Missouri, and Missouri is where I met him. He was one of my good friends from Missouri. But I even said, I was like, what do you want me to do with your stuff that I ordered you? And he never responded. He was just, I don't think he even cares that, we paid for it. He just never came to get it. But we were talking about that in the car. And as I was talking about it and said, he's had some really bad luck since that's happened. Something in my back seat fell, and I don't know what it was.
There's nothing.
There was like nothing back there, and all of a sudden I just hear like this huge like in my back seat.
Yeah.
And I looked back thinking that like maybe like some homeless person or something climbed in the back of my car while we were inside at Acadia, because I really felt like somebody was in the back seat, and I rolled down my window and I was like, it's time to get out. You gotta get out. You can't come home with me. So, but the one that I did have come inside my house, it was at Superior High School when they were trying to knock my earrings out of my ears. They like did it like several times. And I get home and I was like in my doorway, and I had told Cole, I was like, I need to sage. And he goes, well, can we just wait? I'm really tired. Because it was like 3 or 4 in the morning when I got home. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea if we wait. I think we should sage. And he goes, I'm just really tired. And I was like, okay. So I go inside. I get ready for bed. I woke up to what sounded like my son screaming in my ear, like screaming. But he wasn't in my room. He was in his room with the door shut, and he was playing his Switch. And that happened like several times, and I had a headache, which is like, part of maybe being like a paranormal hangover, but it has never echoed in my head like that before. And I was like, holy cow, I have an attachment. Like right then I was like, I knew that that wasn't normal. And I would walk past a light and the light would burn out. And by the end of that week, I think half of our apartment's lights were out. And I got home that Friday, and I went to go back and change, even like our bathroom, because we had like the toilet and the shower in one room, and then our vanity was in another room. And so I had changed, and I went out to go eat something, and on my way like to the table, I was like, do you smell that burning? And Cole goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I go, I smell burn, like plastic burning. And he was like, I don't know, maybe it's outside. So he opened up the door, and it didn't smell like burning plastic out there.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know what it is. And I walked past the hallway, and it smelled like plastic. And I walked back to our room, and my vanity light had blown out. And Cole had already changed that light out, and he changed it with an LED light.
Yeah.
And those don't burn out for like 10 years.
Right.
And so he unscrewed the the light plate, and it had shattered and completely burned around the rim of it. And he was just like, this never happens to LED lights.
No.
And I was just like, okay, there's an attachment. Hi, welcome back. So
welcome to the house, sorry.
After that, we were watching like the first video that we had done with Pam and Jeff, and Cole sat down to watch it with me. It was Jeff Woolwine's video on YouTube, and Pam, his wife, starts talking about attachments and like stuff that would happen, and she mentioned that the lights would burn out. And when Cole heard that, he like grabs me and he's like, Ashley, lights burning out. And I was like, I know, I told you. So we staged the house. And as I was like staging outside, I was just like, you cannot stay here. You have to leave. You have to go home. You have to go back to where you came from. And after that, like it was fine. But it was like a week of like just a ton of stuff happened. It wasn't even just lights. I would go into work and things were falling off of the walls at work. And people were like, what did you do? And I was like, I don't know. They just kind of like it sometimes. I want to come home.
So, yeah, I haven't had anything crazy like that follow me home yet, but we definitely sage right before and after an investigation.
We sage when we get home.
Yeah, 100%.
Try to.
Yeah, there's no way, because we have haunted dolls, we have used Ouija boards. I have enough. I don't need something else to affect those too. No, I'm good. We just did an investigation at the Arcadia Opera House, and it was a horrible night. It was a horrible investigation. Shout out to everybody that was there, though. Appreciate you letting us be there. But like, I ended up falling and tripping on stage and hurting myself, and it was just but I definitely felt like not myself like 2-3 days after that investigation. Like, I was talking to Alice about it. I was like, I don't know what was in that freaking opera house, but I just don't feel the same. But the jail kind of does the same thing to me too. The first time I was there, I got hit in the chest so hard I couldn't breathe.
Oh my God.
Like, it affected me like 2-3 days. It affects me after like an investigation. It kind of just wears me out.
Yeah.
And
it
like,
makes me so tired.
Paranormal hangover.
I was actually gonna show this video. I forgot I was gonna mention it while I was doing the Gilcrest. So I was doing the experiment up at top, and Sarah doesn't go up to the top of the jail anymore after her being attacked. I don't know about being attacked, and she had an experience.
Your girlfriend came after me.
But there's a common area downstairs where like all the cameras are and everything.
I'm fine being down there.
But there was no way that the millimeter would have been able to read everything in that room. She wasn't even anywhere near any of the screens. There was no electronics next to her. Watch this video. We'll talk about this.
I asked who's next to my mother, and I spelled black.
I was wondering, what is your favorite song by Jay-Z, Black?
L-E-J-O... What? Is that supposed to spell jelly?
Oh no, that case
Why?
is going real high though.
This is going off the charts to where it's not even registered.
Okay, so
The
who's going...
KT too is going on level 4.
Who's messing with this one? Black. Okay, so you're sitting next to my mom, causing both mechanisms go off. Can you make the REM pod go off?
Thank you.
The REM pod is in the other room? Or is that the REM?
So like, you can tell the way she had the REM pod, the antenna wasn't anywhere near the screen, wasn't even facing towards electronics.
That's
at
why
all.
I turned it to make sure.
Like, this thing went up to like almost 300.
No, it hit 607. It hit 185. It hit 18.
And then it just went to an error, and there was just lines. Like, I've never seen that in a millimeter ever. Like, I've had this piece of equipment for many years, and I've used it all the time, and I've never seen anything jump like that ever.
Like, I had to turn it off and back on, and it was still doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But have you guys had experiences like that where it's just off the charts activity?
Alice?
No.
I couldn't hear you. I was like, what?
I I said, have you guys had any experiences like that with equipment?
Oh, yes. I've got actually. I went to. Gosh, what is that hospital called in Tennessee? Gosh, Old South Pittsburgh. I couldn't remember what, I couldn't remember what it was called. So I went there, and that place was super active, and something kept following me around all night, and I got scratched. My back started burning when I was in the OR. I also had something kept hitting me like in my side. And as soon as something hit me in my side, the millimeter jumped up to like 250 or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
We got it on camera. I didn't send it to you though. Sorry.
It's okay. Do you want to watch the video that I just played, Ashley?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
All right. So this is at the jail downstairs with Sarah, and it's a millimeter going nuts.
I asked who's next to my mother, and that's spelled black.
What is your favorite song by Jay-Z, Black?
L-E-J-O... What? Is that supposed to spell jelly?
Oh no, that case
Why?
is going real high though.
This is going off the charts to where it's not even registered.
Okay, so
It's-
who's
the
going...
KT too is
Who
going
is...
on level 4.
Who's messing with this one? Black. Okay, so you're sitting next to my mom, causing both the mechanism go off. Can you make the REM pod go off?
Thank you.
The REM pod is in the other room, or is that the REM?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've never had that happen before
And
ever.
that's while Chris was upstairs and I was downstairs with the girls.
We've had like the tripwire.
We've had that go off, but
The tripwire. We've had. I mean, the EMF was going off like all the way, the whole entire time. Like when we would ask it questions.
yeah.
The last time we went to Acadia, the millimeter went off. It
I
spiked
just wish
too.
we would like see the numbers.
Yeah, like record them. We definitely
Yeah.
can.
I should.
So the millimeter was going to error, and like it literally went from numbers to error to just lines,
That is incredible.
And that went on for a while.
and it went on. The whole time that she was filming that, I was doing the experiment upstairs in the jail, and she was in the other part of jail while that was going off. I was doing the Delco experiment.
I want to explain what happened after the video because Henry asked me not to. There's that thing with Cheryl.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about that.
Some
Well,
really
whenever
proud-
you were
what-
sitting in the doing the Delco thing, and you were sitting in the chair, and you said you felt that cold spot, there was I don't know if it was male or female, I couldn't really tell, but there was something like basically sitting in your lap almost.
Yeah, it would literally just. It was so hot in that jail. It's gonna be so hot in August, but it's like 90 degrees in that jail, 100 degrees. It's so hot, and like
Yeah.
it literally felt like
He's not
ice
big.
cold. Like the whole area right here, my whole front area was just ice cold. Like somebody just put a block of ice next to my stomach. It was that cold. And like it happened like 2-3 times that night while I was sitting there. And then I call Alice, and the first thing she says to me, she's like, "Oh yeah, you have a dude with you." I was like, "Oh, I know." I've literally felt it all night long. Like every time I go in that jail, it's the same feeling.
Well, like right when you were sitting in that chair, and if you go back and like watch the video and like look at the comments or whatever on the
Yeah.
Facebook, I kept saying, like, there's a guy in that hallway. There's a guy sitting over there by the REM pod. And as soon as I said that, the REM pod started going off. So I was sitting there, I was looking at that and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not crazy.
Yeah, there's a longer video of that. I kind of shortened it up so we could play this. But Teresa was standing next behind the camera, and I had a laser grid going down the camera or down the hallway. And she said that she kept seeing things walking back and forth between cell 7 and cell 8. And Henry says that he sees the same thing on his cameras, that it just goes from cell 7 to cell 8. And it just keeps walking back and forth. I don't know if that's what hit me. I don't know if that's what attacked Sarah, but Sarah doesn't go up there anymore. We have a couple videos that you guys sent us. I'm gonna play Alice's first, and then we can get to yours, Ashley. And then we have a question of the week, like always. So let's play this.
Good morning, just tell me something. Can you tell it to me now? Oh, yeah. That was you that we heard on voice. That's Mary. Mary, is that you? Make the green go off again. Is it someone other than Mary? If you would like that letter to tell us yes. Never seen that thing go off. Any one of those go off like that ever. Can you try to talk to us? I love you too. Was that your sister? I think so. I think it was. Oh my god. What is it? Oh my god.
I don't know if you could you guys hear that?
I could.
I heard it say something, but I didn't understand what it said.
So basically what was happening is people couldn't hear it. So the so we were having the ghost box session, and the lady that was sitting next to me, that was her house. She owns a haunted kind of place in Missouri or whatever. It's called Brook Estates. It's really kind of neat. Anyway, so her sister had passed away. Somebody had murdered her sister, unfortunately. And we were sitting there. We were looking because we thought that the house was haunted by somebody else too. And I mean, there's multiple spirits there. But when we were there, I was sitting there, and then she kept asking for Mary. She's like, "Mary, is this you?" And then the REM pod kept going off. And then we heard on the ghost box, she said, "I love you." And she said, she's like, "I love you too." And I was like, "Was that your sister?" And she's like, "Yeah." Well, so that kind of kept happening. But later on that night, which is super sad, we had this crazy experience where I don't know what was going on, but I kept feeling like something stabbing me all over my body. And unfortunately, which I don't really want to talk too much about it because it's more of a personal story, unfortunately, I don't have the evidence for that, but one of my other team members from when I was working with Get That Ghost or whatever, she had got it to where she could look at my back, and my back just started bleeding out of nowhere. Wow. Blood was coming up to the surface, and she has it on camera. And yeah, and it was pretty intense. And yeah, so it was, I mean, it's a really, I could probably tell you the story a little bit later. I don't really want to say that on live, but there was just a lot of stuff going on in that house. There's a little boy that stays in that home that peeks his head through the little banister stairs or whatever. And you can hear him giggling and running up and down across the stairwell. When we stayed there that night, I was sleeping in there with the girls. Like I wasn't sleeping by myself because it's just a spooky little house. I mean, it's cute, but it's still, you can feel it, how thick it is in the air, you know? And I was laying there and I always have my rosary by my bed because I say the rosary and stuff before bed anyway.
Right.
And, I was praying and then I put my rosary on my neck and I went to the bathroom and when I was walking back, my rosary fell off my neck. Like it broke.
Wow.
Like out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And so there was just a lot of weird stuff happening there. And I think that there was multiple spirits in the house. We've got EVPs, we got video. We had one video that we had was the chandelier, and we tried everything to get this it was like a piece of chandelier that they turned into some type of like candelabra kind of like thing. It was made from an old chandelier that was in the house, and the crystals on it, like you had to like jump up and down on the floor like really hard to get these crystals to move. And the crystals sometimes like you just be sitting there and there's no vibration, nothing, no cars going down the street, nothing, and then the crystals would just start moving by themselves. No air conditioning. It was just the weirdest. Like we tried we tried to debunk everything, and we just couldn't figure it out. So there was just some weird stuff happening there. And I don't know. It was just a really odd situation. But come to find out, like just in that vicinity, like in that town, it wasn't even a couple of miles from there that there was a lot of like spiritual activity. Well, we went to dinner with the couple who owns the home, and I was like, at first I was like, I freaked out because I thought somebody crossed the street, but it looked like I could see it and it looked more like a shadow figure. And I was like, there's a shadow figure right there by this cornfield. And the guy got like super quiet. We were like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah. He's like, it's weird that you said that. He's like, because he actually had to go to the police because when he was, or another cornfield, but potato field, sorry. He went to had to go to the police because he had found a dead body down there laying in the ditch. And yeah, so we're thinking that it could be whoever that was. So there's a lot of weird stuff that was kind of going on around that house, just kind of in the same area. Supposedly 3 girls had gotten murdered. There was just a lot of weird stuff happening. So we just kind of, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I want to go back there, but there was definitely a lot of stuff like happening with him. Lights would flicker. I mean, I kind of think he had a little bit of a poltergeist activity from all the stress and everything from it. Because you can develop poltergeist activity, due to spirits being in your home, if you're super stressed out. So, but he had a lot of stuff happening. So like the poltergeist activity, I think that he had was, lights would flicker, light bulbs would blow, and he has a video of his, the car door, like the lock. It was like one of those old like 70s locks that you had to push down. You know what I'm saying, in the car? And it kept going up and down like this. Like, oh, can you see my finger? It was going like this, like up and down, like by itself. There was nobody messing with it. His headlights would go off and on. I mean, there was just like all kinds of weird stuff happening. And I was like, this guy's definitely got poltergeist. Like, there's definitely like, and he kept saying like, oh, we had a water and stuff, and a fire happened and it just happened out of nowhere and there was like no explanation for it. I was like, that's definitely poltergeist. Like he had that, and then all the ghosts and spirits and stuff were in that house, and because they live right across the street from that house,
Right.
So good and well, those spirits are kind of going back and forth in between the homes, and there was just a lot of weird stuff happening. And I told him, I was honest with him. I was like, I think you got poltergeist. I was like, honestly, I was like, I don't think that you're haunted. I think you're haunting yourself. I was like, the house is haunted across the street, but I was like, I definitely think you're haunting yourself. I was honest, but
there's I don't know what area of Pennsylvania you lived in, Ashley, but I know both towns that I lived in, there was a cemetery on every corner. Like there were cemeteries next to the playgrounds. There's cemeteries next to a house. there are cemeteries in the middle of the road that they built the road around because it's so old.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I've never seen that many cemeteries in one town.
It was like that in Missouri when I lived in Missouri as well. In fact, 3 houses that I had lived in that area was right next to, they called it the Old Bethel Church Cemetery. And I mean, I had stuff happening all the time, and I lived like maybe like a half of a mile away from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would walk past, I'd get cold spots. I would get sense of cigar smoke. And I mean, it would just be like in one spot. And I mean, I would even walk through it a couple of times because I was like, that is just so strange. Sense of perfume, flowers, just everything all the time. In one of the houses, it was the last house that I had lived in before I moved to Philadelphia. I lived in a little townhome that was like kitty corner from it, and I had like crazy stuff happen. Doors open. I had toys. Like I had a toy ball come flying out of one of the rooms, and at the time I had a roommate there, and I thought she was just throwing the ball out because it was my son's.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, sorry." And she just like looked at me like, what? And I turn around and I watched the ball like go across the kitchen and then roll back towards me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she came out of the room and I was like, when you threw the ball out, and she goes, I didn't throw the ball out. And I go, well, the ball came out, like you threw it out. And like it was like flying out of her room. And she was like, I didn't fly, or I didn't throw any ball. And I was just like, well, the ball rolled on the floor and then turned and rolled back to me. And she was like, no. And I go, I'm dead serious. It happened. And so she did it again. She like tried to roll it and it started to roll by itself. And she goes, we're on a slant. It's okay. We're just on a slant. And just as she said that, it flipped around and came right back at us. And she goes, never mind. This place is scary. She like left the room. She's like, I don't know.
I'd be running to grab my equipment so fast.
Well,
like,
at
all right,
the time, I was like,
do it again.
And I was like a single mom, and so I had a roommate, and I don't think I had any equipment at that time. I was just like watching. I had my phone, and I had recorded my rocking chair rocking by itself, like heavily rocking. And I like show, it was just like me and my son there. And I show him playing with his toys off in the corner. And then I like zoom over and my mom was like, don't record that stuff in your house. And I go, why? And she goes, because you're giving attention. So it's going to continue and get worse. And I ended up having to have that place blessed because my magnets on my fridge started moving by themselves and clicking. It was like a movie. And I thought I was just seeing stuff. It was late. I was reading a book, so maybe like my eyes were like, playing tricks on me. All the way up until the magnet fell off of the fridge, and one of the boxes that was underneath it got like almost like somebody kicked it. And I was like, "That's it." I called my mom, and she's like, "You need to find somebody to bless your house." Yeah. So, and I mean, after that, the excessive amount of bugs that were in there died. Everything. It was nuts.
Yeah, we had a lot of problem with, I don't know if it was because of the winter and it was cold, but we had a lot of problem with flies. while we were up in PA. Like there was always just stupid amount of flies in the house, and like we never open the windows. It's like 20, 30 degrees out there. I'm not opening the window. Like they just came out of nowhere and they would just disappear. Like you would see like 30 of them, and then half hour later, there's no flies in the house at all.
Maybe it had to do something with the spirits in that house, because like I didn't even have an animal, and there was just fleas everywhere. And I mean, the landlord was like, "Can't move in yet. We have to take care of this issue." And so then I moved in after they said everything should be good. And I mean, I was getting eaten alive, and then I had the house blessed, and they all of them died. There was like, it was almost like you would never know that there was like infestation of fleas in that house. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's exactly how the flies were. Like they just disappeared. Like I don't know. They would always be around the back room. Like there was the room right under the attic. So we had a finished attic. And there was always flies in that one room, and then you walk away out of that room, and there's nothing. Yeah, I don't understand it.
If you make like a witch's ball or whatever they're called, right?
Yeah.
They say that they're like wards or whatever. Somebody had given me one of those, and I hung it up in the window, and I don't know who was doing something, sending me the evil eye or what, but there was like tons of flies in that window. Tons.
Yeah.
Like hundreds just in that one window. Nowhere else in the house.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I don't know. It's crazy. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't understand it. So we're going to play this video and then we'll chat about it. The video you just sent us before we went live. So let's watch this.
Okay, this room does have spiders.
Look right there. Look right there. Pavelina.
Shut the fuck up.
Going that way.
I told you they were up here. Should we go back inside? Well, we're already here. Tracy, they're over here.
Tracy, they're over here, so be careful.
I don't see it.
I got it on the camera.
I'm coming in. Whew, it's hot.
Ooh, it is hot. It's kind of warm in here.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yuck. Yuck.
Ah!
Don't.
Don't stop believing. There's something in the stars.
Oh, there's one right there too. Are you sure you want to be in here?
Nope. This is the scariest spot.
This is called the spider zone.
Is Tracy and Skylar going back in the house? Or going back in?
Yeah, I think they're coming this way. Hopefully we can get out. I just close the door.
Well, I hope we can too. No, we can.
No.
Don't, because you're gonna clown. What, clown trap us? Is that what it's called?
No, she's gonna freaking crop dust us.
Ew, we should
Hot
have to get used to this, but I can't. I'm more afraid of the spiders.
Pavelina's outside and spiders in here.
I want to be out there.
You'd rather be out there?
Yeah. I'd rather, instead of something crawling on me, yeah. I'm telling you, like, crawling things in me do not mix.
I'm trying not to freak out. It's not helping. Okay, I think I've got enough of this. Okay.
We're done. Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Ashley.
can't.
What? Now I'm all like worried about the Halloween. What?
Recording it.
Oh yeah. I can't do the spiders.
Should we do anything else? Getting scrapped.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
But not the spiders. Maybe Tracy wants to.
Are they back there? Yeah, there's.
Family? Where'd they go?
I don't see them anymore. They ran like that way.
I wonder if I got it on camera, like when I turned it on.
What?
Cause you're like, oh, right there. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Oh, you want it? We're here.
Now that we're scared. Yeah. I would rather be scared of. That was scary. Of any spirits. Of any spirit, I would be more than happy to deal with than the freaking javelina. Wow, that was intense. Yes, it was definitely intense. Holy cow. Well, now I'm amped up and scared. Holy moly.
So, what was going on? I've been seeing you guys laughing so hard the whole time.
We just thought the whole entire thing was funny. However, we both like brought it up because of the javelinas. But we wanted to show like what other stuff happens along with just investigating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of other things are scary along, like I don't find it scary, but like
We thought the javelinas were scary.
the javelinas were terrifying. But like I don't find like spirit stuff scary. Like it's very rare. But we just kind of wanted to show like other things that happen. Spiders are scary. Spiders are really scary. The javelinas, like stuff that you run into, kind of like squatters too. We just wanted to show that other stuff happens other than just, finding an active house. There's other things that come along with it.
You said spiders and what?
Squatters.
Javelinas?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. It's a wild pig, kind of like a Pumbaa. Yeah.
Oh.
Like Pumbaa and Timon.
It's like a little warthog.
Yeah. But they will charge at you and they will knock you down and they will tear you to shreds. And they had a bunch of them in the back. And I think that they were using the porch to
get out of the rain.
Yeah, to get out of the rain. And so
those things are everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, I was chased by them like when I was in high school, and they're not fun.
So it's kind of like a wild boar here.
Yeah.
So
we just wanted to show other things that you can like run into. But the thing is at the very end of that, when we are inside Acadia, I mean, I was scared. I was afraid that one of us was going to get attacked. And all of a sudden, because I think we had like so much energy and everything, the tripwire like started getting like super active after that. So I think we brought that activity back into the house with us as we were just as we were getting scared and because we were running And I mean, it even replied, what did it, I said it was intense, and like the kitchen lights, like the tripwire that was in the kitchen just went like off and on like really fast as I was like, that was intense.
Yeah,
And I
you
was
said
like,
you
it
would
agreed
be.
with us.
You said you'd rather be
Yeah.
happy. You'd be happier in here with ghosts than out there, and it went off.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So they're probably
and
agreeing with you that you'd rather have you in there talking to them.
Yep. And right after that, we like debated on sending a video, but I mean, all the videos that we have of it is just so long. But Gretchen, like, because there's just like a group of lights in the kitchen of the tripwire that were going off. And then all of a sudden one of them turned red, and I was like, that means that somebody's on top of that light. And I was like, I wonder if they're hungry because they're hanging out. We have so much activity in that kitchen every single time we go.
Yeah.
That I wonder if they're hungry. And Gretchen was like, are you hungry?
We got some Cheetos.
Yeah, we've got some Cheetos. If you make this whole entire rope right here turn red, we'll give you Cheetos. And it did. It turned the whole entire thing red. But it was over like several, like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour long of just like it turned. But I mean, you could tell that it was really trying to like get it all to turn red, and it got it all red, and we set out some Cheetos so they could have some Cheetos.
Yeah,
I want some Cheetos.
Pretty cool.
I love Cheetos. What kind of Cheetos?
I still have your jerky here.
Wait, what?
I still have your jerky and your bag and your pens and everything right here.
I forgot about that.
So we have a couple videos of your lights, the light strips.
Yes,
Let's play that.
Are you from the little house out back? No. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Did you just make that noise?
So let's play this other one and we'll talk about it.
Do you like
make a noise, like a knocking noise? Can you repeat this?
Oh, wow. It just ran.
Did I scare you? It literally just took off downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Did you get that one?
Yeah.
Wow. So you do have that kind of activity all night?
Yes, for that. So that was the cabin. That was the cabin in New Dell. The only people that were there was Cole, myself, and my mom. And my mom was the one that was showing us around the cabin. In the first video, did you hear the thud?
Yeah.
We could not figure out what that was. But I mean, it was a very like loud thud.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe there is something in here. I think that was like the only time that I really felt like maybe something was there from the other little house, the little Hobbit house that they had.
Right.
But we found out that there was a male there, and the male was actually my mom's father-in-law. I flat out asked if it was George, and the lights went off. All the lights went off.
Oh, wow.
And it did, like, I didn't show it because my mom got like really emotional and everything from it. But that, like, the lights going off, there was a couple of things that like ran through my mind when this happened, because the more I had watched that clip, I was like, was it trying to like end his little knocking, you know, the dut 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 dut, because like one side went off and then the other side went off. But then I was like, you know, we could have scared it. And what comes to mind, you know who Kalani is, right? Or Kaylani. He was in a podcast one time, and he had mentioned that he would, you know, he'd go to all these haunted places and he'd stay for like a week or whatever. And he had done an investigation where he had the spirit box on, and he started talking to somebody, and it got down to the point where he was like, he felt like it was different dimension kind of situation. And so he was talking to somebody that was like so far in the future, and like come to find out, like he started looking up the person who he was talking to, his grandpa, and he got down all the way to like where his like the city that his grandpa lived, and he was just about to find it. And the guy was like, this is getting too dangerous. I've got to go. And he left. But he was asking Kaylani to like knock on the walls and like what year it was. And I kind of felt like this was a little bit of a situation like that, because what if somebody was investigating the cabin and we were the ones that they were investigating, and he knocked on the wall and they flipped out, you know, like that's like some of the things that I think of. And there's been like a couple of like investigations that I have mentioned that to her, that it kind of made me feel like, are we in like a different dimension? So it kind of brings like something completely different than what we're so used to investigating. And I thought that was, you know, that might have been like a situation in there. We have gotten, what year is it? In fact, the last time we went to Acadia, we were in the parlor room and we got what year is it on the wall? So, I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, that was like, that's another like situation that like I just like, were we the ones that were haunting the place
right
at that particular time? And like they were asking us, you know, like all those questions, and it was pretty intense. But just to find out, you know, that it was my mom's father-in-law, that was pretty cool.
It's like the
Do
picture.
I feel like there was?
We have a group chat that we talk to each other all the time. That's like the photo that I sent you guys the other day, the ghost, where it's like, if there's any humans here, make a noise.
Yeah.
I wonder if the spirits are like trying to figure out who we are also. If it's them trying to figure out us and they're making noises, and while we're trying to do the same thing. That's pretty crazy to think about.
It is pretty crazy. And it didn't resonate with me like anything like that until I had seen that podcast that he mentioned that. Because I was like, you know, that could be a possibility, you know? We're just like all in different dimensions, all just in different years.
Yeah. I think I might like time warp. Like dimensions go in interweaving each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be so crazy.
What do you think, Alice? You know, we're laughing at us.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you guys. I was laughing at the dog. He's huge and
puppy.
Yeah. He's the reason I've been having to turn my camera and my mic off.
Got ya.
Yeah, he's a big boy. No, I think that actually parallel dimensions and kind of parallel worlds and things. I don't know. I think it's a possibility. Definitely, it's kind of like a ghost in the 50s, and they're a nurse at a hospital, and then they hear you say hello, and then you're saying hello back to them. It's kind of like a little like wormhole in time or something. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a possibility. I really do. I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, it just kind of like opens your mind to like more stuff. I think that's why I kind of like doing the paranormal along with like everything else. You have
That's
to
like
have
the
a really open mind, you know, to be in this, and like that just kind of like stretched it a little further. Like we're not the only ones out there, you know, like we're, you know, it could be different dimensions, you know, it could be a past loved one or some, you know, energy. It just opens like the door that much further.
Yeah. I kind of just imagine like 100 years and people are trying to investigate people like during COVID or something. They're like, "Oh, what's up? Somebody give me a sign or something." And it's like, "Hey, Bree, it's me, Brittany, bitch." Like,
no, if it's during COVID, they're going to be asking for toilet paper.
Yeah.
Hey, does anybody have any TP?
Yeah. So the toilet paper just going down, like cat playing with it.
And you can imagine the investigators are just going to sit there and be like, "Oh, that was during the great toilet paper shortage."
Yeah, right. But like going into like locations like that, like everybody talks about like ghosts from like the 1900s, or like, what about the ghosts like somebody just died and you investigate it? Like, why does it always have to be like 1500, 1600 ghosts? You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't.
And you wonder, like, those grunts, those growls that we get, you know, could they have been like cavemen?
Yeah. Why don't we have freaking spirits? Why don't we have spirits of dinosaurs?
Or chickens.
Or chickens.
Maybe
I'm telling you, I'd have that rooster stew waking me up in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. I'd be having some rooster stew.
May rest in peace.
Yes. So we have a question of the week. We're gonna get into this. Anybody in the comments want to answer the question? We'll let it play, and then Ashley and Gretchen and Alice will get your take on it, and I'll say mine, and that'll be it for the show. But we like hanging out with you guys. We could do this for hours and hours. So here's the question of the week.
Wait, I didn't.
So yeah, I'll read it. Didn't realize it was that short. So you're at a location. You're only allowed to pick one piece of equipment. What do you pick?
I think mine's going to be a voice recorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or a millimeter, but a voice recorder. Yeah.
What about you guys?
I thought that was a good one that she chose. I think I would do the S box, like the Estes method.
Mm-hmm. Mine would be my
What about you, Gretchen?
I knew hers.
What was it? Yeah, the flex. Yeah.
I know she loves that. She loves her flex. Like that's like one of the things that we always do when we go in somewhere is we use flex.
I just recently, I think I'd pick. See, if I like cat balls, I use cat balls in every investigation. I love them, but I think my new piece of equipment that I would pick is my new portal.
I want one so bad.
Yeah,
they're easy build. If you can build them yourself.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have. we were lucky enough to have a gentleman gift us one, and we just had to buy new cords and battery pack for it. But yeah, I love my portal. But
That is
I,
cool.
So Alice,
if I had
how
to
to build
pick,
a portal?
what's that?
So Alice knows how to build a portal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're
I can grab it real quick. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, we can bring a turkey.
we'll bring your jerky and you can show us how to make a portal.
If you want what's yours back, you have to show me how to make a portal.
That is so cool.
I love it. I want
Yeah.
one.
I want one so bad.
So it has the SB7. This is a battery pack. This is the amp, obviously. And then this one's a reverb. And this is noise gate. So this one takes out the white noise. This one gives it the white reverb. But you can go online and get one. You can get all that stuff for like easily under $100. Like they're not that bad. They're not that expensive.
You want to know another secret? You want to know another secret?
Yeah.
REM pods sell for like $200 and something. You can, I think they're called, I can't pronounce it the right way, but it's called like a Thuman or whatever. I'll send you a link of it. And it's literally like this musical instrument that is played by touching the antenna. And it quite literally is the same exact thing that it is built out of. And for like, you can do it for like $20.
We're gonna build some of those too.
And then we can sell
Yeah,
it.
you just sent me a video how to make a music box.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I want a music box so bad.
I just started building ghost hunting equipment. Like, what am I doing? I'm just...
I would buy it.
I've just like literally been messing with all this stuff and like I just haven't been doing it.
Yeah. But before we go, is there anything that you guys would like to promote? Any investigations coming up? Anything going on?
Yes,
Whoever wants to
we
go
are
first.
going to Las Cruces. We are going to be speakers at the Las Cruces Paracon along with Alice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wish I could go.
So
I'm kind of far.
jump
But-
on that plane.
Yes. We actually have a convention we're going to in October at the Gilchrist jail again, like we did last year.
That'll be fun.
You know what? We should just like rent an 11-passenger van and then just go hang out with Chris. Well, let's take a trip to Florida.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I could give you.
Everyone else drive. I'll just.
But where's Gretchen? Where's Gretchen? She's just passed out in the back. You know, be all right. That's where I'd be, passed out in the back.
That's me.
Yeah, curled up with a blanket and a pillow. You know,
Yeah.
no shit's given. But I want to greatly appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us. Went longer than I didn't even realize we were on here for 2 hours already. Didn't even feel like it.
Oh my gosh.
But I want to greatly appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us again.
Yes,
You guys are really close friends of Underworld, and we love talking to you guys.
Yes, we love talking to you too.
Yes.
Definitely. And thank you so much for purchasing the shirts. We love the support.
Welcome. These are super cool shirts.
Alice will get hers soon. I promise. She's top of the line.
Did you run out of shirts too?
I did. So there's only a certain amount of big shirts that we can get, and I got the big shirt. So Alice is top of the line. She's special, so she deserves one. She does a lot for Underworld.
Yes.
We're gonna go, and I hope you guys have a great night. And I don't have to say that we hope we stay in touch because we always talk.
Yes,
So.
we do.
Sorry for my fidgeting. I've got a toddler, a giant dog, and a grandma I got to take care of. So
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Thank you.
Night.
Bye.
And remember, always stay creepy, friends.
Yes.